Hey, what's up guys? Today I'll show you a science fiction horror film, Annihilation. Spoiler ahead, watch out and take care. Lena, the sole survivor of an expedition, is questioned in a room by a man, and watched by others outside of the glass wall. People are so curious about how she manages to live for 4 months in an isolated operation area with only a 2-week food supply, while all other members of her team are dead. Lena looks confused, and starts her reminiscence. Lena is a cellular biology professor working at a university. After she finishes her 7-year services in the army, she met her husband there, who's still a soldier. The couple's peaceful and happy life is interrupted after the husband's disappearance due to a military mission he volunteered to join. With no information or any ways to contact her husband for a year, Lena suffers deep loneliness and desperation. However, she finds her husband unexpectedly coming back home one day. After a tight hug and joyful tears, Lena notices his changes. He seems to have some memory loss, frozen facial expression, and he is offish with Lena. Lena calls the ambulances as soon as she sees her husband bleeding. However, his condition quickly deteriorates with severe bleeding and twitch. Security forces intercept the ambulance and give Lena a tranquilizer shot. Later, Lena wakes up in a ward, facing a government psychologist called Dr. Ventress, who says her husband is in intensive care because he suffers many organ failures and massive blood loss. Lena suspects that her husband has exposed to strong radiation or is infected by some virus. She demands to know her husband's mission so as to assure why he's in such a bad condition. Ventress takes Lena out of the lab ward to see a strange colorful dome that she has never seen before. The dome, known as the Shimmer, appeared 3 years ago on Earth after an unidentified object crashed in a lighthouse. Countless people and drones were sent to investigate, but nothing came back, except Lena's husband. What's worse, the Shimmer devoured more and more around it, and expanded wider and wider. Lena's husband is the only survivor returning from the Shimmer by far. To reveal what the Shimmer has done to her husband, Lena decides to join Ventress's scientific expedition, together with 3 other members, a physicist, a geomorphologist, and a paramedic. Even though they are aware that once they are in, their lives will be in great danger, the teams still head into the Shimmer, because each one of the team has a reason to accept such a deadly mission. Lena says she wants to do it for her husband's cure, but she conceals the guilt for cheating on her husband with her colleague. Sometime later, the group awaken in the Shimmer and check their backpacks. From the food left, they know they have been inside the Shimmer for at least 4 to 5 days, but none of them can remember anything after entering the Shimmer. Moreover, their communication and navigation equipment are in good condition, but can't send any signals out. The group find an abandoned hut and some boats near a swamp. They discover some mutated plants, growing with different types of flowers on one stem. Suddenly, an albino alligator attacks them, but gets killed. Lena thinks the alligator is mutated too, because there are rows of shark-like teeth growing in its mouth. The closer they head to the lighthouse, the deeper a mutation phase goes. All objects inside the Shimmer all seem to have been affected. Their DNAs are scrambled and reformed between species, which causes their appearances to be mixed and merged together. The group continues by boat, and arrives at an old base that gets swallowed by the ever-growing Shimmer a long time ago. Plants with malignant mutation-like tumors grow on the surface of a building. In the messy hall, Lena sees a guarding schedule of her husband's team. Ventress finds a memory card that's kept for the followers by the former team. It contains video footage showing her husband cut another soldier's belly open, and something horrible is moving inside like headless snakes. Ventress leads everyone to a swimming pool, where they find the dead soldier in the video. Lichens have grown in all directions from the cut in the soldier's body, and a snake tattoo is on his arm. At night, Lena checks the dead soldier's cell samples. They are strangely colorful and dividing. Then she goes to see Ventress, who is on guard, asking why her husband wants to accept such a suicide mission. Ventress explains in a psychological way that her husband is looking for self-destruction but not suicide. People have different ways to self-destruct, such as smoking, drinking, a large amount of hormone let go, or even destroying happy marriages. Lena does not respond to Ventress's implying. A scream wakes everyone up. The group stare into the darkness in alarm, with guns ready to shoot. A huge bear comes out of nowhere and drags the geomorphologist away with its mouth. The paramedic is so scared that she wants to follow the route back, but Ventress insists on investigating the lighthouse. Lena persuades the paramedic that it will take 6 days to walk back, but it only takes 2 days to get out of the shimmer by boat after they arrive at the lighthouse. However, Lena hasn't been very honest with her team, and she knows she needs help from the team to uncover the secret of the shimmer. While Ventress has terminal cancer with no family or friends, but the just determination to learn the truth behind the shimmer. Later, the 4 people keep moving in the woods and find a boot belonging to the girl, taken away by the bear. Lena wants to search for the girl by herself, but encounters a deer with its duplicate. Both deers move synchronously, which freaks Lena out. After that, she finds the girl killed by the mutated bear. She then rejoins the team, and tells them the geomorphologist's death. The team soon reach a town, where plants are growing into human shape. The physicist reasons that the radio waves and signals are not blocked in the shimmer, but just get refracted. So are the DNAs of everything, which well explains the mixed mutation. Lena's guilt makes it hard to sleep at night, because her husband actually chose to take the mission after he figures out her affair. Later, she is awakened, and finds herself tied to a chair by the paramedic, who also ties the other girls too. The paramedic knows Lena's husband from a picture she finds in her locket. So she believes that Lena tricks everyone here. Right then, the tied-up 3 discover that the paramedic's body is mutating, and her flesh is moving. When the paramedic is about to attack the girls, they hear the dead geomorphologist scream for help. The paramedic runs to save the geomorphologist, but gets hurt by the mutated bear. Frequently, what comes out of the bear's mouth when it roars is the screams of the geomorphologist before her death. The injured paramedic shoots the bear, but gets killed immediately. The physicist frees herself and kills the bear, and saves the other 2. After the accident, Ventress doesn't want to waste any time, but walks to the lighthouse by herself immediately. The next day, the physicist asks Lena's opinions about her refraction theory. Lena agrees, and admits that her body is mutating now. The physicist rejects Lena's suggestion of heading forward. It seems like the physicist has given up fighting with a mutation, but to accept it after seeing so much horrible death. Lena knows that the plant's DNA has refracted to the physicist, since leaves and sprouts are growing out of her body. Lena follows few steps behind the physicist, who is walking towards the woods. To her surprise, the physicist has vanished, and becomes a human-shaped plant. Later, Lena walks to the lighthouse alone, and a snake tattoo begins to show on her arm. She arrives at the shimmering lighthouse finally, and discovers a hole on the ground, a burnt body, as well as a camera facing the body. The video in the camera shocks the shit out of Lena. It's nobody but her husband, sitting on where the burnt body is. The video shows her husband is not sure whether he is himself anymore, because his flesh starts moving like liquid, and his mind is cut loose. After instructing someone to find his wife Lena, he burned himself with a grenade. Then a guy with the exact same look as her husband walks into the video scene. Lena suddenly realizes that the husband comes back to her is not her real husband, but an alien duplicate. To know how that happens, Lena ventures into the hole, and finds Ventress is already there. She says the alien is talking to her in her body, and she is going to annihilate. Then a great beam of light comes out of her mouth, while her body is vanishing in sparks. Shortly after Ventress's body is annihilated, a nebulous ball of energy is left. Lena is too occupied by it to aware that a drop of her blood is absorbed into it. The blood cells starts to divide, and produce more. And finally, a humanoid thing is created. In fear, Lena shoots at the thing, but to no avail. When Lena climbs out of the hole in a hurry, she finds the thing is already out. Lena hits the thing with the camera stick, but gets knocked down. When she regains her consciousness, Lena is horrified to realize that the thing even mimics her motions. She then slowly walks to the wall, picks a grenade up from the floor, and puts it into the thing's hand. As soon as Lena contacts the thing's hand, it changes into Lena's appearance unbelievably. Lena runs out of the lighthouse, after activating the grenade, which burns the alien thing. However, instead of chasing Lena, the alien goes to touch the husband's body, and ignites it. Then she sets fire to the hole after she goes back inside. Soon the whole lighthouse is set on fire, as well as the mutated trees outside the lighthouse. Because of that, the shimmer vanishes eventually. Back into the questioning room, all workers are shocked by Lena's story. But there are no other explanations that can be proved. They could not find anything in the former shimmer area, because everything is burnt to ash. No one can explain why the aliens and the shimmer are here on Earth. Lena asks to meet her husband, who has magically healed, thanks to the disappearance of the shimmer. Lena walks closer to him, and asks whether he's her real husband. The man gives her a negative reply as expected. However, when the man asks back if she's Lena, Lena doesn't answer it. The man stands up, and puts Lena in his arms. Colors like the shimmer shine in their eyes, while they are hugging, indicating that they both seemingly are not a real human anymore. This is Daniel CC Movie Channel. Peace out.